Thanks for clicking on this video. Here's a kitty in a pokeball. What screams I'm very insecure? I used to be very insecure, so I'll go from my own experience. Lying about something to seem cool. It's very obviously a signal of insecurity, because they don't like who they are now. I used to be this way. I got it from my mother. It evolved into pathological lying, where I would get so invested in a lie that I would eventually end up believing it, and it would become my reality. In hindsight, that shit is horrifying. It's a serious mental disorder. A decade of therapy later, I snapped out of it and realized that I was acting like a ducking wet wipe on a regular basis and cut that shit out. I have a brother who does this. He's so insecure about whether people see him as an idiot that he's getting his PhD so he can officially be the smartest person in the room wherever he goes. Almost verbatim. Dude lies pathologically about the dumbest shit. I also went to grad school for that exact reason. I still feel dumb, though. The problem with grad school is that you are going to be surrounded by people who are all world-leading experts on their hyper-specific topic. Grad school destroyed my confidence in my intelligence. Being unnecessarily mean-spirited to people. Had a guy threatening to kick the shit out of me if I told anyone he was dyslexic. Guy spelled things out for you. Fair play. If it was by text, it must have taken him ages to type it out. I helped him out with a text. He was struggling to send an SMS to someone, so I typed it for him. I pressed send, and the next thing I heard was him murmuring something, like you tell anyone about that I'll duck your shut up or something. One-upping people constantly in conversations, or bragging about how much better you can do something than others can, which is a much better comment than yours was. My school is full of kids who one-up each other on how little sleep they get. Duck, that's unhealthy in so many ways. Oh, you went to Tenerife. Well, I went to Elevenerife. You got cholera. Well, I got Yersinia pestis. I beat you both. I died. When you're reading an AskReddit thread, to make sure you're not making it too obvious. Just calling me out, huh? Bragging about things not even in your control, like your parents' wealth. Even worse, I have a friend who likes to brag to girls at the bar about how successful our other friend is because his parents have a successful business that he is taking over. Super cringy. Haha, that's like third-degree bragging. Man, I brag about my depression all the time. I had a friend recently brag that she got diagnosed with PTSD from her childhood. Yeah, I remember hanging out with a crew of emo-ish kids when I was younger and everyone was competing to be the most ducked up and depressed or whatnot. Now being an older adult and realizing how much my anxiety disorder gets in the way of my work and social life, and it's really not cool. The more you talk about how good you are in bed and how many women you've ducked, the less I believe you. I'm terrible in bed and have ducked a grand total of 0 women. Wow, you must be a sex god. He hasn't heard any complaints yet. How would this even come up in a conversation? Hey Bill. Hey Joe. You know, I'm a ducking sex god. Yep, clapped 38 cheeks just last night. Lol. Just not shutting up about yourself. Constantly lifting yourself up and comparing yourself to others while pushing them down. Also, constantly putting yourself down and comparing yourself to others. I didn't ask to be called out this loudly. Or those people who post on Facebook those quotes that are like, "Don't worry about those who talk behind your back, they're behind you for a reason." Or they tag themselves into any and every place, including the doc/hospital/somewhere personal. Then when someone asks if they're okay, they reply with, "Don't ask hun sucks." So basically, people who live their lives through very active social medias, I suppose I'm trying to say. I've always thought the hospital thing especially weird. Also weird, I have symptom of something which may require an ER or urgent care visit. What should I do? Maybe go to the ER or urgent care? These are people with health insurance, mind you. I can see posting to see if anyone else has had X symptom or condition. Or what questions to ask your doctor. People who feel the need to judge everyone in a negative light and who only want to see the worst in others so they can feel better about themselves. It just shows how unhappy they truly are. Ironically, people like this also feel like they are judged unfairly and constantly by the world. My ex-fiancé was like that. Homie could make anything bad about how the world is out to get him. I get robbed at knife point and it's about how he was late to work because I couldn't come pick him up fast enough. So clearly the world hates him. Duck that guy. I found that a lot of people on Twitter that feel the need to post about how great of a person they are and they have nothing but good intentions are usually the most toxic people I've seen. It's like they are trying to convince themselves. I also notice that the things they write about themselves are the kind of things you should let other people say about you. It's just tacky. I'm way too humble to ever do anything like that. Banning Winnie the Pooh because someone said you looked like him. Incapable of self-reflection because they are vampires. Because they forgot to install the bathroom mirror. To be fair, self-reflection is where most my insecurities come from. Same. All I do is overanalyze my behaviors. BF. Alright and going to work babe. GF. You better not be ducking with bitches at work. That's like screaming I'm the one cheating. This is so g-dang real. The 2 girlfriends I've had that are super clingy and obsessed with me cheating end up cheating. That's why I start cheating immediately. Can't let them get one up on you. Funny story. A few years ago my husband and I were sharing a car. One day I noticed a note under the windshield wiper that said something like you're cute. Call or text me phone number. We thought it was funny that we didn't know who the note was intended for since we had both been driving the car. My brother-in-law's, now ex-girlfriend heard us talking about it and said if I ever found a note like that on brother-in-law's car, I'd be so pissed. I'd probably call her and cuss her out. Okay, yay, totally reasonable reaction. Scene. Gets a notification on phone. XGF. Who's chatting to you now? Me. It's a game notification. Me. Goes to shower. Me. Comes back to find GF going through every message, ML and WhatsApp. Does that scream I'm insecure? Trying to dominate conversations, not to be confused with just being a charismatic person. I know a guy who will talk forever, on and on about something that may or may not be interesting to anyone but him in the first place. If anyone has something else to say that leads to a small tangent or participation of other people in the room, he becomes visibly annoyed and will bring it back with an anyway at the earliest opportunity and continue ranting. I don't like him. This is a self-roast, but I think I degrade myself just to hear others deny it. Is that insecure? I do this, and I definitely think it comes from a desire to get ahead of it. Like, if I put myself down first, then how badly can it hurt if someone agrees? It's created a cycle of almost compulsive negative self-talk that I'm trying to deprogram. When you question yourself, do they actually like me, or are they pretending to? Or when you think you're gonna bother other people if you talk to them. People whose self-esteem is so low that they can't stand the sight of people with high self-esteem, so they will try to break down anyone they perceive as more successful than them. When a group of this type of people comes together, a major crab bucket mentality arises, and they will target people perceived as highly competent or successful for bullying, gossip, false rumors, and other things that should have been wiped out after elementary school. I only get along with guys. Other girls hate me. All girls are drama. Yeah, I know, I'm not mathematician here, but even I can see a common denominator. A password made up on only lowercase letters. Correct horse battery staple. Automatically assuming negative intent. For example, your friend didn't pick your call. Duck her. She's trying to avoid me. I don't care about her anyway. Had a friend who, while I took a nap, texted me. I noticed you didn't share your chocolate bar with me at lunch. Are you mad at me? Are we even friends anymore? 2 hours later, I guess I have my answer. Constantly wedging humble bragging into conversations. I had a hard time with that when I was at Harvard. Joint Facebook profiles. Don't you bring my grandpa and grandma into this. People over 65 get a pass. Using your internal fear as a reason not to do something. Hate your job. You don't apply for any others because you're scared of being rejected or that you don't deserve a better job. In a terrible relationship, you stay because you're scared of being alone. That kind of insecurity is the worst MO because it affects nearly everyone. Can't handle being told they're wrong or ignorant about something. There. How dare you? You think you're better than me. Duck you. Immediately getting defensive whenever you try to help them. being overly nice, and being a yes man to make other people happy. Also having no opinions. Women that guard their men like a soldier. I was leaving an abusive relationship. My friend offered me a place to stay. The hitch was, if she wasn't there and just her husband was, I had to leave. I got a hotel room. Not dealing with that.